success, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great color coops, no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable, they sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab a few, can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop me in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We see 3 W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together. Like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, as you know, being over in Orlando, still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Two times. We got 4. Let's go.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they are not going to let him turn the corner. Some serious pressure right out of the gate. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. On 2nd and 15 now. Winston. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Winston. And Winston lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Come on, set, 10-2 stop. Let's go.
2nd and 3. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll run on first down. Lindsey, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
50, plant. Here we go. Shoot.
Here's a give to Lindsey running right. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. This is what the defense is going to look like for Tampa Bay. And they're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. On first down, it's Lindsey. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards is the pickup, first down, New Orleans. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Shoot! Watch the shoot!
A give, running right, Lindsey. Room here to run. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Philip Lindsey, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week, 18 carries, 58 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Ready. 125. Tight down. There you go. He's checking. Crash.
From the 44, Winston. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Third and short yardage, Winston. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Ready? Back to the back. Cut. Double time.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory though if they're stopped. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Winston, rush coming, and he's taken down.
You better be ready next time.
But enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. 2nd and 9 now. He gets it to Thomas. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Here's Lindsey. Oh, fighting off the defender. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by Derwin James.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
Set. Hard. 30 base. Check out snap.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact,
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the 2nd. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig the...
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing, Winston. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. This time they stay on the ground, and they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is Harris. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And Thomas has it.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run it.
Well, now Lindsey lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
The extra point up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Saints to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And he's got some space here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big pickup of 38. We often poke a little fun at running backs past the age of 30. Oh, they're getting old, they can't run anymore. Well, he's showing past the age of 30, you can still have some nice runs like that.
You certainly can, and I think that we're starting to expand our definition of old running back. Because it used to be as soon as they hit 30, we want to get rid of these guys and go to the younger guys. But now that the guys are taking such great care of themselves, as you pointed out, you can still get explosive runs at any age.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage again to 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession. But this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or they're athletic.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. It's a big play. Winston to Evans, 47 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. This is Carson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Sheldon Rankins picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left. roll him out, bootleg it, do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. On the NFL scoreboard, third quarter now from Jacksonville. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he slings one that's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. 2nd and 10. Being chased out left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
On the ready.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Lindsey. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 7. Thomas has got it, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll run on 1st down. Lindsey. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Winston. He completes it to Evans. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Winston. Short throw to Disley. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Now Jameis trying to hurry his crew to the line. Back to throw. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. He'll look to throw. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Winston now from the 50. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it second down. Back to throw. And this is caught by Evans. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. He's back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Winston of the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's completed now 9 passes in a row. They'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Winston. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Winston. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. Winston to throw for it on 4th. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete. And it's incomplete. Still time left, though. 2 seconds remaining now in the 4th quarter.
Come on. Double tight, guys. Double tight.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense